Hi everyone, I'm Glenn Flaherty. This is Board Games and Bourbon, and right now we are going to talk about why Catan the dice game is way better than people give it credit for, highly maligned, and why you might just enjoy having it. Okay, so this is Catan Dice, and it's actually a really good game. It gets a bad rub, but it should get a good rub because it's fun as a solo experience, okay? So when you buy it, what you get is 6 die. You're going to get a pad of paper, and you need a pen so you can write down things on the board that you do. And to play this game, which is essentially Yahtzee with unlockables, what you're going to do is roll these die 3 times. You can roll as many as you want and try to build these structures. You have roads that take a brick and wood. You have knights, which you do not need to necessarily unlock. They're always available, and they will give you alternate resources. But to build them, you're going to need coal, sheep, and wheat. You can build yourself a settlement, which is brick, wood, sheep, and wheat. And finally, a settlement, or excuse me, a city, which is the biggest points in the game. You're going to need 3 coal and 2 wheat. Now, you're going to roll those, you get your things. And what I mean by unlockable is as you go, you have to build these roads. Roads are always worth 1, but what it does is it brings you where you need to go in the game. And where do you need to go in the game? Well, you might decide, as a strategy, you want to hit up all these settlements. And that certainly is the lowest amount of roads because it'll bring you to a 3-point settlement, then a 4, then a 5, a 7, a 9, then an 11, and slowly building up. Another strategy might be that you're going to try to go for the cities on the outside. You have to do an excursion with your roads, but it yields a lot more points. You have 7, then 12, and then you have 20 and 30 on the other side. Now, another strategy you might have is that you are going to try to build all the knights. And again, that gives you the alternate resources, but it also gives you points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6, which is a wild. And if you look up here, it really doesn't take that much to do. It's one of the lowest things. The game takes place over 15 rounds, and you're going to write those scores over here. And whoop, right there. And that's really good because it's going to keep it nice and tidy. It keeps it moving along. You know when the end is coming. You know when time is running out if you want to go for it or not. Now, that is great as the solo experience. And I might say it is a very serviceable game that I would give a score of 7 to. But there are multiplayer modes as well. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of paper and we're going to flip it over. You can see over here, there's a second side. That's the best side to play 2-player on. Why is that? Because the instructions actually say you can play 2-player on this side, and this side is awful because really you're just 2 people playing the solo game, intermingled. So it's the same game, just twice as long. Avoid at all costs. Okay, so that means you have to go over here. The difference being it plays out the same way, but you have the slightest degree of interaction because you can battle for longest road and longest army. That is it. Nothing I'm going to write a letter home about, okay? I'd give that a 5.6 on the BGG scale. So if I were you, I would definitely stick to the front side, do that as a solo experience. And as such, considering the whole thing is not even as big as my hand and the price point is amazing, why not put it in your bag of tricks, okay? So that's Catan Dice. Give it another look. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.